Hey guys, so I just want to do a quick recap kind of review thing, since I've just spent the last 2.5 hours or so trying to catch up on Doctor Who. Um, when The Rebel Flesh aired, that was basically the start of my losing track of where I was in the series, because the night that aired, I was actually a little bit intoxicated. And so it's actually, very hard to pay attention and focus when you and your best friend are sitting there making inappropriate comments about Ryan Ross. So, up until a few weeks ago when I was in DC, the last episode I'd seen all the way through was The Doctor's Wife, which is a phenomenal episode. So I finally watched The Rebel Flesh, and it was incredibly lackluster, and so that's one of the reasons why I didn't feel the need to catch up. I finally sat down tonight because somebody posted spoilers on Facebook blatantly of what happened tonight. And I've never really been one for spoilers when it comes to Doctor Who. Like, spoilers for other things that have been, like, long since established, like, Harry Potter, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, whatever. I will still try to respect people's wishes to an extent, but when it's stuff that's already been established, I don't see the need. And the problem is that until I installed Tumblr Savior tonight, everything from Doctor Who when this season came back with Let's Kill Hitler was getting spoiled for me. So, my enthusiasm for watching the show continued to go down the drain. I mean, it was pretty bad when I could go to school and hear Briley and Miriam talking about it and understand what they were talking about without ever having seen the episode. So then I finally decided to try to watch, because I've been getting really stressed out about where Stephen Moffat is taking the show. I want to know now. I hate Stephen Moffat, and I hate Riversong, and I hate her storyline. And I have legitimate reasons for this now. Maybe in season 4, when they first introduced her character, I didn't. But the Melody Pond is Riversong storyline is bullshit. And I will tell you why. Because season 4 was the first time we ever met Riversong in the Forest of the Dead episodes. Stephen Moffat weaved this character that was mysterious and somehow knew the Doctor and knew all this stuff, but you didn't know why. And we're left with the promise of eventually finding out why. The problem being, when he was writing those episodes and writing the season 5 episodes, even he didn't know who Riversong was. I don't find that to be clever or creative. I find it to be stupid. Because with a show as long-running and as phenomenal as Doctor Who is, with the following and history it has, you do not go into this show blindly and making shit up as you go along. And so that's basically now at this point in my life my main reason for not liking the Riversong storyline. Because it took him getting Amy and Rory married to have the obvious deduction, oh yes, obviously since they're married, they're obviously going to have kids now, because that's what all newlyweds do. Stephen, my brother and his wife, are going to be married 6 years in June. They still haven't had kids. So then I watched, like I said, I watched The Almost People. The only good thing about that episode was the audio clips from Tom Baker era and David Tennant era. That made my night. I'm not going to even lie. A Good Man Goes to War. It was actually one of Moffat's better written episodes. I thought the opening scene with Rory was phenomenal, and the scenes with the Doctor turning out to be one of the monks was phenomenal, but also sadly predictable. And I wanted to enjoy it, but at the same time I couldn't. I could not find myself to be heartwarmed by any of the scenes with Amy and Rory and the fake baby, because, well, actually, I didn't necessarily foresee the baby being fake, but I was sitting there trying to work out why they got away so easily. But I couldn't be heartwarmed by it because of who I knew the baby was. I knew who the baby was because I found out on Tumblr. I still love you guys. But when it all finally came down to the end, I'm not really understanding why the TARDIS doesn't translate Gallifreyan. the TARDIS is Gallifreyan machine and has Gallifreyan wiring, so why shouldn't it be able to translate its own language? That probably, for crying out loud, in the Doctor's library with the swimming pool, he probably has the TARDIS handbook written in Gallifreyan. It's an obvious deduction. I'm sorry. But maybe this is just me. Maybe it's wrong that I'm all for following canon. But if that's wrong, then oh well. So then it comes straight down to the fact that what's worse about Riversong being Melody Pond, being the spawn child of Amy and Rory, is she looks nothing like them. And then I'm like, how am I supposed to believe this? Alex Kingston does not look like she could be the older version of a child that Amy gave birth to. She doesn't look anything like them. Like, where the fuck did the curly hair come from? You know, I may not have done very well in biology, but I do remember learning about where genetics and genes and traits like that come from and all of that nonsense. And I don't remember the exact details, but I feel like it's a bit more complicated than all this. And that's just always going to be my biggest beef with Moffat, is he doesn't care how many plot holes he blows into a storyline or how many rules he breaks. Hello, he broke his own rules set down in The Girl in the Fireplace, and then he turned around and broke the rules in The Christmas Carol by having the Doctor crossing into his own established timeline. That was the whole reason why the Doctor couldn't use the TARDIS in Girl in the Fireplace to go save Renette, and that's why he had to go through the window. But no, I guess that was totally out the window and okay in A Christmas Carol. Whatever. So yeah, if you guys are still watching at this point, that's awesome. You guys are awesome, and I hope you all don't hate me. Some of you are really awesome, and that's why I'm still continuing to follow you. I just put Alex Kingston and Riversong on my blacklist because I just really can't stand her. So, I'm gonna probably continue watching tomorrow because I have to get up for church in a few hours. So, that's that. I want to know your thoughts on the episodes up to the A Good Man Goes to War. If you're gonna argue with me, your cons, or why I'm wrong, I want you to sound logical and not just because you think Riversong is a badass. I want logical arguments and an argument that will make me think. And I would really love to hear your side if you're on my side and you agree with me about Riversong and Moffat and everything. It comes down to the fact that I'm a Russell T Davies girl, and let's just focus on the fact that after 3 episodes of Doctor Who, he had me emotionally invested in characters. It took other writers writing for Amy and Rory to make me like them. So that's that. I hope you guys are still watching. And just leave me a comment letting me know what you thought. Bye, guys.